We are in Bellan Restaurante. ¿Bellan o Bellan? Bellan. Ok. Estamos en Bellan en el restaurante Bellan en Ubita.
Playa Hermosa.
Please introduce yourself.
Hola, mucho gusto. Me llamo Annie. Hello, my name is Annie. I'm a licensed clinical social worker, and I'm the owner of Beru Wellness. It's a private practice for mental health.
How you ended up being in Costa Rica?
I know, isn't that crazy?
It is.
So I had always wanted to go to another country, right? I've always wanted to have like a different cultural experience, and I love the United States, but I never leave anywhere without my parents.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we're very, very close knit. My dad is 81. He was in the Marine Corps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was an interrogation officer actually in the Marine Corps in Vietnam.
Oh, wow,
And,
that's amazing.
Yeah, and then both of my parents, they had worked at the VA, at the Department of Veterans Affairs, for over 30 years, and they retired from there. And so we were kind of like ready for like a new family adventure. And so actually I had thought we were going to move to Belize, but they had decided that they wanted to come here. And so I said, well, okay, let's go and have an adventure. So I'm still a Florida resident. And I, spend time there, but it's so nice to be able to be here, in nature, in the jungle, and my parents are in Escaleras. Yeah. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds,
I love it. But we become in contact, I will say, because veterans.
Sí.
So I know you don't work with veterans anymore.
I do somewhat. Yes, I do.
Is veterans here? Obviously your dad or how you.
So Beru Wellness is actually, it's located in Florida.
Okay.
So I'm still licensed in Florida. So I still work with the VA Community Care Network.
Okay.
So they outsource for veterans who are wanting to be seen outside of the VA system. So I still do that. I worked at the VA for 13 years.
Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And a whole bunch of different programs. So I worked in, I did my internship. I went to the University of Pennsylvania for graduate school. And that's where I did my internship, was at the Ellesmere VA in Wilmington, Delaware. And I did that for, the duration. And then I was hired immediately after. And so I continued to work on my license for 2 years. Under supervision, and I started in mental health, and then they changed the name to behavioral health. And from there, I moved into the substance abuse program, and I created the intensive outpatient program with 2 other.
Wow! So you're a big celebrity. I didn't know I was with.
I created. It was really cool. It was a recycling program that actually, it ended up winning the national award for like a green innovative thing. But it was really cool. So what we did is they had a program that was called, it was a work-related program for veterans, right? That were wanting to get back out into the work field. And so we created a single stream recycling program, and we used the veterans to help build up this program. But it was the first time at the Wilmington VA that the veterans were actually a part of the creation project.
So they can build really what they need. They can talk about really this is what we want, this is what we need, this is what we're looking for.
Right, and they helped to build it together. So when we would have meetings, it wasn't just staff meetings. It was like we incorporated the veterans too.
That's amazing.
So they would come and they would sit with us and they would share their experiences and give feedback, and we would all work together to implement it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And then 10 years later, it won the big award. So that was really exciting. And they were building an outpatient clinic in Dover, Delaware. And so they sent me out there, and I helped to build that. So I was the
Wow.
yeah, I was the
That's
social worker out
amazing
there for
job.
the outpatient clinic.
That was amazing job.
Yeah, and then
and my respects and congratulations on that, because I mean, I would never even think how to get there.
It was really cool. It was really cool, and we received like so much support. And then from there, they were starting a new initiative. It was called HUD-BASH. So that's Housing and Urban Development VA Supportive Housing. And that was in Perry Point, Maryland at the VA there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got started on that initiative. And it was such a neat program, because what they did is they worked with HUD to get housing vouchers for veterans that were, that had like chronic homelessness, that may have had other like dual diagnosis issues. So for example, like substance use disorder issues, or something going on with mental health. And so we would work on, housing. It was a really great initiative. And then from there, they were opening something in Florida.
Your story is so amazing.
Yeah. So they were starting the program out there in Fort Myers, and so I went out there and I worked in that, and then eventually I decided, let me spread my roots out a little bit, and so I ended up working at hospice.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I loved it. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's really, and from that to Costa Rica.
I know.
I mean, it's a big change.
I know.
It's a big change.
It's a big change.
How you feel living? I mean, because you keep working in the States, you working here.
I don't actually. Well, yeah, I can work remotely.
Yes. I mean, that's you
yeah.
work remotely, but how you feel with all that? How you can get adjusted to be here, or how you feel like, living in Costa Rica is, because the rhythm of life here is completely different.
Yes.
So slow down, take it easy, take your time, all that kind of things. And sometimes in US, you're like, go. And here is big, far away from that.
It was honestly, okay, so I didn't speak any Spanish. Like, I knew how to order a beer with a lime.
And ask for the bathroom.
That was the extent of my Spanish, and ask for the bathroom, right? That was it. And I knew how to say I like beans on vacation, none of which was helpful. Moving to another country that's predominantly Spanish speaking.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is that I really had to get the language down, because it was almost like a strip of identity, I would say, in the sense that, because what I do for a living is I speak, I talk to people, right?
Yeah.
And that went away. And so it was kind of like, who am I? Like, how do I communicate with people? And everything. So back then it was very, very slow, like much slower. We had only Colby Wi-Fi, which basically didn't work at all.
Oh yeah, I was like,
I would just watch the circle
going and never goes anywhere.
Yeah, and so I just decided, well, you know what? Maybe this is like, maybe I just don't need Wi-Fi. Maybe I don't need internet. Maybe I don't need television. Maybe And so, but I think honestly that it was a real learning curve for me. I remember my ex, this is a funny story, but one time, like, he needed a toothbrush. We didn't know how to ask for a toothbrush. And so we go to some store, and he says, "Necesito una escoba para mi boca." He says, "I need a broom for my mouth." And the lady's looking at us.
Like, what?
So I mean, but it was such a, it's like I almost feel like I'm a part of it now. Like I feel such a connection to Costa Rica and to nature. And when I first moved out here, I was afraid of nature, which is kind of funny.
Gracias.
Oh, gracias. Yeah, they always do the most amazing things at the Bay Inn. Everything is so beautiful.
Thank you. Beautiful.
Yeah, I love it here.
It is Bellan Restaurant and Coffee. those fruits looks amazing.
Yeah.
We will have very good breakfast.
Yeah. Their pancakes are to die for.
We will try when we're not recording. Believe me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you slowly start learning Spanish. So now you can ask for a toothbrush, not for a broom brush.
I can get a toothbrush, right? I can get a toothbrush, not a broom.
For my mouth.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's really, but I think that in a sense, the slower pace has been so good for me because it's really helped me to become more mindful and more present.
Really?
Yes. Where my mind isn't always on to the next thing. Like where when I'm with somebody, and I think it's also really been good for me as a therapist in the sense that when I sit with someone, like I am really fully present.
That's important. I mean, and that's one of the things I remember in every book or everything about life, quality of life, on things like that. It say, be present now. Don't worry about the future because you don't know what's coming. Don't worry about the past because it's already gone.
Right.
So just be
it's
present.
All there actually is.
Uh-huh.
There's nothing more than this
be
moment.
present. So I think, and your job has to be really amazing.
Yeah. So it's really, I love my job. Like, I think that it's my passion. I think it's my purpose. And, I think that, it's certainly, my clients, like they're responsible for their own growth and everything, but it's nice to sometimes think that maybe you're a little instrumental in their growth process.
It is, what I do is very far from what you do, but it's real estate. So, but when I help people to achieve that dream at the first home, or help them to invest that money, maybe to in the future pay for the college of their kids,
right.
or have a vacation home, because I sell it here in Costa Rica, like I was telling you, I sell in Florida, and I sell in Costa Rica, and because I do a lot of global, international, I have people moving to Portugal or Ecuador, Colombia, Panama. What you tell me, I even met an agent in Tibet.
Oh my God.
So I know people everywhere, but when you help them say, oh, this is my next stage in life, my next step, my goal, my future.
Right, and that's the thing, right? So, it's really the same thing. So the goals may be like, for my clients, it may be like something like emotional regulation, but for yours, it's buying a house. So it's like we're both assisting, the people that we work with in very different ways.
To move forward.
For forward movement.
I love that. For me, that's amazing because it's like you help them to achieve a dream or achieve a next step in life, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, can sound selfish, but it's like a personal pleasure. Like, hey, I help them to get there.
No, absolutely. I feel the same way about my line of work. It's kind of like, it's ultimately, it's like clients have a right to self-determination, so they get to decide for themselves, just like in the real estate agency, right? But it's like, it's like saying, sometimes we don't have to continue to follow the same patterns. We can make, changes, healthy changes.
Just
grow.
Even open a new door and going somewhere where you will never expect to go for.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So anyway, when I was out here, I started working for another practice online. It was around COVID time.
Ooh.
And so everything moved to online, and by then we had decent Wi-Fi.
It was not like
which is a really nice thing.
I think one of the good things came from COVID is have a good connection, because everybody hear more about it. The demand of better internet connection was there, so the companies improved themselves.
Right, they really did. They stepped up to bat, and it made a difference. But anyway, somewhere along the line, and I think it was, I want to say maybe 2021, somewhere in there, I was introduced to Deb, and she had heard about the services that I offer and was really kind of interested in what I did. And so I had a meeting with her, and we had talked about DDS for vets and about how they're, I mean, they're so supportive. Like they are,
Amazing.
like I can't even like express to you like how much they do.
I do.
And not just for veterans, but for first responders as well.
Yes.
So they recognize that it's not just, I mean, that there is secondary post-traumatic stress that occurs, in different jobs, in different life experiences. And so I started working with her and their organization, and they would offer for free to the clients, like to come and see me so that we could begin to address some of the issues, but also so that they could be assessed responsibly for if they would be appropriate to have a service animal.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I got to build like so many different relationships, like throughout this process. And I was able to go to the gala.
Well, I hope we'll see you in the next one in February.
know.
I would love to see you there.
Oh, that's really. She said that they were changing it. She said they were changing the time to February.
Yeah, we will have the next gala in February, and I hope to see you there.
You want to hear something funny? Okay, so the gala, right? I went, but I couldn't find a evening attire out here.
Oh, yeah,
right?
here it will be kind of difficult.
It was really difficult. I'll send you the picture. So I ordered everything online
To Florida.
to Florida, right? Like I didn't know what size it was. Well, I'm only 5'4", and this dress that I got was made for somebody that was 6 foot tall.
Oh my God.
It was so long, right? And I was like, what am I going to do, right? Like, I don't know how to fix this. And the gala's tomorrow. Right. So I went to the front desk people, and I said, do you have duct tape?
No.
Yes. And it was the heaviest dress ever. And I literally flipped it around, and the entire inside was duct taped. And then my shoes didn't fit, the shoes that I had bought. So I only had my flip-flops with me. So I made the dress long enough with the duct tape so that you couldn't see my flip-flops.
But I'm sure you look amazing and nobody knew it.
No, nobody knew it. Nobody could
See,
tell.
that's how it works.
So, but I remember just sitting there thinking, like, I hope the tape holds. It was like a Cinderella experience.
Those things we do when we have to get dressed.
Yes. But that's one thing that I've learned from Costa Rica, right? So I've learned how to get creative. I've learned how to think outside of the box.
Really?
Yes. I mean, before I probably would have just sat there and cried and been like, I can't go. And I was just like, well,
you figure it out.
Pura Vida. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
You can learn, because a lot of times here in Costa Rica, the Pura Vida, people think it's about just the shield, and it's not. It's way beyond that.
I think that, for me, like what it really embodies is resilience. And I think that resilience is about like learning how to make peace with new realities. And the faster that we're able to do that, it's like in AA, they talk about acceptance is the answer to all of my problems.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. Kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
My grandma lived here in San Isidro.
Mm-hmm.
She was from Orotina.
Mm-hmm.
So
I love Orotina. I bought a table from there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's lovely.
I love the fruits there.
Yeah.
The mangoes, like this big. Anyway, my grandma moved from Orotina to Alajuela to San Isidro in 1946, 47.
Mm-hmm.
So she died when she was 100 years old.
Oh my gosh.
And she used to say, amazing. And she used to say, you know what? You don't have to worry about things. You take whatever life brings you.
Yeah.
If you worry for something doesn't have solution, why you worry? It's no solutions anyway.
Right.
And if you worry for something, will have a solution. Why you worry? It's a solution already.
Well, and you never know what the future is going to hold. So really, I mean, I think that worry is really it's a waste of creative imagination.
That's a good point. I like that. I like that.
I could be imagining anything because I don't know what the future is going to hold. Mm-hmm. And do I really want to make myself all unhappy over a story that I've told myself?
And 90% of the times are not true. It never happened.
It never I know, that's the thing. But, it's really interesting because people believe their thoughts when they're having them, and they think that their thoughts are the correct thoughts. So it's very believable. And I've had people say, well, I don't know if I believe that, Annie. Sometimes I don't believe all of my thoughts when I'm having them. But here's the thing. If you're telling me that you don't believe it, you're believing that you don't believe it, hence believing your thoughts.
Exactly.
So, and what's really interesting is, and I think that the thing that makes it so believable for all of us is that we never question our thoughts. We never take the time to say, well, is this a realistic thought, or am I just creating something in my head?
I like that.
Does that make sense?
I like that.
Yeah.
It's true. It's very true.
It's
that
true,
it's
right?
true. I never realized that, but you're completely right.
Right. So it's like when a person worries, when a person has anxiety, right? Anxiety is always future-based, like you had said before, right? But the reason that it becomes so believable is because our bodies don't actually know the difference between real or imagined, and they always follow the thought. So let's pretend that this glass was filled with straight up lemon juice, right? We squeezed lemons in there. Imagine taking that glass of just lemon juice and downing it, drinking the whole thing.
Oh.
Right. What you should notice is that you would feel a little bit of tension in the back of your jaw, and your mouth would begin to salivate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that there's no lemon. There's no lemon juice, right? So your body reacts to the thought of drinking the lemon juice, even though there's no lemon juice. That's what we do with worry. So when a person worries, right, like let's say I think, oh, something bad's going to happen to me next Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
My body will begin reacting to the thought as if it's actually so. So for example, my heart rate will accelerate. It's a physiological response. My heart rate will accelerate. My breathing will get shallow. My pupils will dilate. My mouth may get dry. I'll release cortisol, which is the stuff that gives us belly fat, but it's also a stress hormone, right?
Mm-hmm.
My sympathetic nervous system will activate, and I may release adrenaline in my body, all in response to the thought. So my thought says, oh no, something bad's going to happen to you next Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my body supplies the added response because it says, oh no, we heard the thought, right? The thought's saying something's going to happen. And so it supplies the added response. And the next thing you know, the thought says, I knew I was right. And then it runs with it. When things don't actually happen, that we worry about, we never stop and say, boy, that thought was way off base, right? What was I thinking? I just made myself miserable for 3 weeks or however long, right? Over what? Over something that didn't happen, over an illusion that was imaginary. So I work with people to learn how to really challenge their thoughts, to learn how to listen to their bodies, to understand what emotions are for, why we have them, and that all emotions are really there to help to guide us in the right direction when we understand them and properly heed them.
I feel like I need to hire you for my life now. but no, it is amazing because a lot of us don't realize that or don't really do that, and even veteran or anybody.
It's universal.
It's no PTSD. It's not this or that. It's general. It's universal.
It's universal.
And real estate is stress enough to have PTSD. Believe me. But those things. I mean, I listen to you. I'm like, she's so right.
Well, it's that's the thing is that they're universal human behavioral patterns, and that's what I specialize in is patterns. So it's kind of like you can't intentionally change a pattern until you build an awareness of it. But once you build an awareness of it, then you can disrupt a pattern. And all patterns are meant to be disrupted.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
That's evolution.
Well, that's
right.
true.
Right.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
True.
So even the mental boxes that we create in our heads are really just patterns. So I think that it's just, I think that humans are such fascinating, we're fascinating creatures, where in our mind's eye, we're always in the future and we're always in the past, It was really interesting. remember where I figured this out, but I was talking to somebody and I was just listening to them, and and everything that we were talking about was either future-based or it was past-based. And so I said, try having, and I'm going to do this to you now too, just so you can see, but I said, try having a conversation with me that's only in the present moment.
Wow.
Try it.
It is hard to think only present and
Try
don't
it.
go.
Watch what happens.
Like, what you thinking right now, how I say, enjoy the breakfast is future.
Right, because we haven't touched it.
Yeah. So how you do that?
Or people will say to me things like, I'm drinking coffee right now. And I'm like, well, actually, you're not.
Because you're talking.
Because you're talking.
So we're talking right now, that's the present.
Right.
I'm amazed by everything you're talking about. That's my present right now. I'm listening to you.
Right, but I'm not actually I wasn't talking. So
no,
that was the past.
Exactly. So it is hard.
So we could say there's a plate of fruit right there.
We ain't touched it yet. We will have a break soon so we can touch it.
I like your earrings.
Thank you very much. I love them. It's a 10 colones coin. Yeah. So I love them. I try to bring things with me from Costa Rica all the time to keep, I love my home.
Right. So the bring things from Costa Rica is past.
Exactly.
Right. So I think
it is hard.
It's well, what you realize is that, no matter where our minds may go, the majority of the time, I think that our truth is peace. Like that we really, we're sitting here and we can worry about the future, we can be sad about the past or have regrets or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But our actual reality is that you and I are just sitting here at this moment perfectly all right to the core.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice,
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah. Every day you learn something new.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I think that, it's really, that's what I'm talking about. Like it helps to ground me. So when I feel anxious or when I feel like, some kind of a negative emotion, I play this game that's called Find the Threat with myself. So I look around and I say, okay, if I'm so convinced that there's a threat, find it. If I can't find the threat, it's probably that the storm is entirely internal. So I'm doing it to myself. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I'm here. When I'm come to Costa Rica, usually it's because I look for that.
Yeah.
Because I like hiking.
Yeah.
So here I have that opportunity. I can just go and sit at the beach and just focus on the waves and don't think about anything.
Well, in Oxford did a study and they found that just 1 hour in nature, right? 1 hour is all it takes to significantly decrease depressive symptoms and symptoms of anxiety.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So I make sure that I spend a minimum of 1 hour outside every day just.
And in this area, you have a lot of chances for that.
Yeah, getting dirty or working in the garden or, whatever.
That's one thing, because sometimes I get, with my work, it's very stressful.
Sure.
And I love gardening. So when I'm super stressed, I just go and take care of my plants. Mm-hmm. I'm talking to them, whatever, getting my hands dirty.
Dirt is, I think, really good for people.
Really?
Yeah, because it has minerals and everything. Mm-hmm.
And I just chill with the plants, talking, moving here. Okay, let's take this off, clean, the whole thing.
It kind of is like hitting the reset button.
Exactly. Yeah. And when I'm too stressed, I try to run away here to Costa Rica. Mm-hmm. And because where I live, I have mountains close, I have the beach very close. So I say I live, but it's my mom's house. Sure. It's the same thing. And I love hiking. I love sitting at the beach, go to a river and just sit there and chill.
Peace.
It's peace. And for me, that's Costa Rica bring me peace. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Well, I think, I think that it's kind of like the other thing that happens is that it's our association with things that create the feeling, right? So it's so if I think that this is just an example, but if I think that I can only feel peace in Costa Rica, I've missed it because the peace is actually, it comes from within. Mm-hmm. All emotions actually come from within you, right? We're the ones that create them based on a perception of an experience. Does that make sense?
Completely makes sense because
Right.
when I cannot come here, I go to the beach in Florida. I go to the mountains in North Carolina. Uh, but I look for natural, for be around natural, like forest or something where I know that will
Right.
ground me.
Ground you.
Mhm.
Grounding techniques.
And I think it's that because,
Yeah.
thinking that now you made me think about it, and yes, it's true.
Well, it's kind of like, one of the things that I really try to do is, I saw movement in the trees. I'm wondering if it's a monkey.
Maybe.
But one of the things that I try to do is when I feel like, I think that peace is a state of mind.
And we have to work to do it in.
Right. So it's like when a hurricane comes, right? When a hurricane comes, what do? Like, I mean, you
Freak
can
out.
Right. Try that. That's delicious.
Freak out. That's what I do usually.
So, but you prepare, right? You put up your hurricane shutters, and you wait for the storm to pass.
Yeah.
And so I do the same thing at an emotional level,
Ooh.
where if there's arguments or whatever, right? I'm still responsible for my internal state. I'm still responsible for the peace that I have within. And so it's really important for me to put up my hurricane shutters when
to avoid all the craziness and like block it. I don't think it's ignore it because no, you get prepared.
No, you can't ignore
Just
it.
depends. Yeah, you have to block and just take care of my own way.
Right.
That's
So,
right. That job you do is amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
And congratulations. And I know this area is helping you to do it even better. So
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, and I love Florida. Like, I mean, I love Florida. I mean, that's the other piece. So it's kind of like it's being able to have two homes.
So you have the
Which you
best of two
understand.
worlds.
I love the golf. I love it always feels like bathwater to me. Like,
That's true.
Here the waves are like super strong.
I know, right? It is. That's
Yeah.
why people come here for surfing.
I love. Have you ever been to the Clive Butcher Art Gallery? Yeah, I love going there in the Everglades.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, it's just like such a magical place for me.
It is completely different. It's something you will never see somewhere else. I like that about Florida also.
And getting to go to concerts and Broadway. I love watching, musicals.
I love that too.
Yeah.
When I can, I go to, every year Krabby Center in West Palm brings some Broadway events.
Yeah.
So I look forward and see which one will be next year. I want to go there.
Yeah.
Phantom of the Opera, Hamilton, all those things.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I like those
Wicked,
things.
I saw Wicked.
I didn't saw that one.
Oh, it was good. It was good. They had a song, Defying Gravity, that I love. So.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for taking your time for this. I appreciate that.
I think that we both have the best of both worlds.
I
And I'm
know.
so grateful to Deb. Thank you, Deb, for connecting us. What a lovely gift.
Thank you so much for
Thank
taking
you.
your time. Now we will go have breakfast with
Yay.
the cameras. Thank you, really.
Thank
And I
you.
hope you keep enjoying in Costa Rica.
I will.
And with your parents and many years.
Oh, super
and I hope
grateful.
this is not the last time. It's not.
No,
to
this
see you.
is a new form of friendship.
Yes. Thank you.